Let's pretend for a moment that you've had a long, stressful day. Now that dinner is ready, you tell your child you need help setting up the table. However, your child does not look or respond to you. You repeat the direction again with more emphasis in your voice. But this time, your child runs off screaming without helping. Sounds pretty accurate, right? When this happens, a parent may feel more stress building up and disconnected when their child does not look at them, follow directions the first time, or ask for what they need. Oftentimes, these breakdowns in looking and responding during daily home activities may be related to delays in basic communication skills of shared attention, imitation, and requesting. Let's briefly visit about each skill and what are some activities to do at home that help promote the development of communication to decrease undesired behaviors. Welcome to the Arkansas Behavior Support Specialist Parent Resource Series. My name is Kat Lancaster. Our goal with this resource is to provide you, as the parent or caregiver, with information and strategies to help your child become a better communicator to decrease undesired behaviors at home, in school, and within the community. Let's get started. Communication and behavior are closely related. When an individual communicates their wants and needs and are able to be responded to, that person is more likely to interact and succeed with others in future social interactions. On the other hand, communication that's not responded to by others results in frustration and outward displays of undesired behavior. And if not addressed, undesired behaviors increase in intensity and variety. Children learn how to communicate by interactions with people in their environment. As parents and caregivers, we are constantly modeling how to look at items together for shared interest, copy the actions of others to learn how to do something, and ask for things in daily activities to get needs, wants met from others. The modeling of basic skills of shared attention, imitation, and requesting lead to successful communicators. In some situations, a child may have not developed these basic skills that are key in successful communication. But do not fret if this is the case. As the parent and caregiver, some general everyday tasks can be easily fit into the daily activities of family life to foster the growth of these foundational skills. Shared or joint attention is a fundamental social behavioral skill for interactions. When a child and a parent engage in shared attention, both individuals pay attention to facial expressions, body movements, and interaction with objects in the environment. This type of shared engagement occurs early in life, and the ability for a child to follow the finger point of another person is a precursor to developing shared attention. Early childhood games provide many opportunities to naturally engage in shared attention. During infancy and toddlerhood, the game of peekaboo builds in the anticipation of shared attention of playing simple hide and seek. The enjoyment of smiling and saying, "I see you," aids in the child noticing your facial expressions and hand gestures to accompany your verbal message. This simple game is beginning to help the child recognize feelings in relation to the actions and events of others by using shared joint attention. Shared attention naturally leads to behavioral skills that opens a child's ability to access social interactions throughout their day. Imitation is a behavioral skill that helps all learn what, how, and when to do specific tasks for daily activities and social interactions. True imitation occurs when one person shows what to do while the other person copies the action. Imitation activities might include copying big movements using your whole body or just parts of it, doing small actions with your fingers, mouth, or tongue, and repeating sounds, words, or sentences. Imitation tasks naturally occur in daily activities. Video modeling is a great tool to assist in developing imitation skills, and a child will watch a video and copy the actions of the model provided. Video modeling can be done in arts, crafts, song play, and toys or gameplay. For example, a fun, easy, and free video modeling activity is called Go Noodle. This resource has deep breathing, movement breaks, and mindfulness activities that facilitate imitation. The link to this resource is available at the end of this presentation. Requesting happens everywhere in daily activities. The different ways we communicate consist of using pictures, signs, devices to speak, and verbal speech. No matter what the modality of communication, we can identify the purpose of problem behaviors and find a single word that also serves the purpose of the problem behavior. As the parent or caregiver, you are aware of those situations in which problem behavior occur. Thus, understanding the purpose of a behavior is crucial in addressing and managing it effectively. By being aware of the situations and identifying patterns, we can uncover the why it persists and whether it's to escape or avoid a situation, seek attention, or obtain tangible rewards. Recognizing the purpose of a behavior helps us develop strategies to address it constructively. It's all about gaining insight into the underlying motivations that drive the behavior. If my child ran away screaming when asked to set the table, is it because my child wants to escape doing homework or my child wants my attention when I'm fixing dinner? If the child wants to escape, words like stop, break, no are the targets to use right before the problem behavior occurs. If the child wants attention, words like help, look, or watch me are initial words to consider. If your child wants to gain access to items, use any words that fit in a setting and situation. If your child is doing a crafting project, use words like glue, scissors, or crayons. Sometimes parents or caregivers share that my child has temper tantrums, screams, or cries excessively when I try to get them to use their words. Having visuals like a picture card or a word on a clipboard, something that's hanging on the fridge, or using your phone to assist in developing and immediately requesting their wants and needs are something to consider. For some children, the act of pointing to a picture requires less effort than talking, especially if talking is difficult for the child. When a child is upset or frustrated, the ability to talk becomes stuck or locked, which increases the likelihood of undesired behaviors. Let's look at a couple examples of how this is done. If you know from a pattern of frequent behavior that your child needs a break from homework, you will use a picture card with the word break on it. As you present the homework to the child, place the card near them. and cue by saying, "What do you need?" while pointing to the card. And wait for the child to pick up the card, to give it to you, or say the word, and then immediately give access to the break. Set a timer for 5 minutes before you present the homework again. In another example, let's say your child wants to access scissors for a craft project, but they don't have access to the scissors. First, you need to hold or hide the desired item. As in the previous example, place the card of the item near the child. Cue by saying, "What do you need?" while pointing to the card. Wait for the child to say the name of the item or points to the word card to you. And immediately give access to the desired item. The more that you practice the sequence of steps over and over, the child will become more fluent and automatic with requesting. And over time, you may see the child just state the word without needing the card. That is the goal. Use the word in the natural environment and everyday interactions with each other. Requesting opportunities are best built into everyday activities. By teaching requesting daily, the child learns self-advocacy skills to get their needs met and decrease problem behaviors. If your child has difficulties completing some of these tasks with problem behavior, think about the purpose behind the behavior as it happens, and what is your word that targets the same purpose that is part of your child's existing language skills. If your child receives services from therapies like occupational therapy, speech language therapy, or applied behavior analysis, check with those service providers to determine what type and format of visual supports and target words will be the best fit for your child. Finally, check out some of these free resources to help develop shared attention, imitation skills, and requesting to increase social interactions at home. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to learn more about basic communication skills to assist in decreasing problem behavior. Please check out our Parent Resource tab on our arbss.org page for more information. Have a great day.